Alrighty, y'all. Peaceful greetings to you all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at Northwest of Maxim. How are you? Guys, welcome to our 7-day tropic medical astro weather report. Make sure this camera is straight. Right, get that going right. Turn this, mute this volume over here on that device. Alrighty, guys. So we're here for the 21st to the 27th December 2023. Going to knock out these testimonies real quick without further ado. I'm just going to jump right into it, guys. All righty. And start my screen share there. All right. Let's just get right on into this. And of course, we are here in our 7 Hill Star Astro calendar. Let me make sure I take it to the beginning, right? 7 Hill Star Astro calendar for March, Aries 2023 to February, Pisces 2024, right? Quote, time never was when man was not, in quote, and we are quoting Al-Hajj Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali doing religious corporate activity, being prophet, noble, Drew Ali. Gratitude indeed. Peace be unto you, all right? So now we're looking at the moon cycle that has the fire sign Sagittarius, the archer or hunter, anciently and contemporarily ruled by Jupiter, as currently the sign, the earth-based zodiac sign that the sun is completing its transit up in, as far as from our perspective here on Midgard, earth plane, Asha, right? So now we will soon see from our perspective here on earth, the sun will be transiting the earth sign Capricorn during this Sothic Gregorian calendar month termed December. And Capricorn is the sea goat, right? Anciently and contemporarily ruled by Saturn. And so we're here for the 21st and the 27th. So you guys will see me go in on these quite a few transits there, right? We got 5 transits, right? There for the 21st. Let me zoom in a little more so you guys can see 5 transits for the 21st. And if you notice, it's about 9 hours and 14 minutes for today. And I think that is showing some evidence that this is roughly the winter solstice that's taking place tonight. As you see that last ingress, we see the sun ingressing Capricorn at 27 minutes after 2200 hours, or 10:27 post-meridian Eastern, all right? So we do see here for the 21st, I have 5 testimonies there going in, and then we get to a lunar ingress into its exaltation sign, Taurus, at about 50 minutes past 2100 hours, or 10 minutes to 2200 hours Eastern. And Luna will be ingressing Taurus after a 3-minute void of course moon, right? Very short void of course moon there. We've seen those before. For the 22nd, there's 4 testimonies there. Alrighty, 3 lunar transits taking place. And then the sun and Mercury are conjunct again, because we know that Mercury is still within its retrograde, right? And we are clear, alrighty, that it's very interesting. This is just after Mercury's made its second strike to Mercury trining Jupiter. That happened on the 16th or whatever. So we know on the 22nd also, which is very interesting, what will happen to Mercury will be sextile Saturn, as far as the chart that I showed you guys maybe some time ago on different social medias. And even this one, I discussed it, this small report that I actually have here. All right, if you guys are familiar with this report, where I just kind of, outlined and mapped out Mercury's, retrograde within its zone, right? So for the chart that I cast for the 25th November 2023, I know that tomorrow at about 0900 hours, 36 minutes, Mercury will be doing its second contact to being sextile Saturn. So that's taking place also, guys. And we know, again, Saturn is within its retrograde zone from the 25th November 2023 until the 20th January 2024, totaling 56 days, 6 hours, 38 minutes, and 40 seconds. All right. Just to be technically accurate for those that enjoy the technicality. However, I will be getting to the, nuts and bolts of things, right? So you can have the immediate know-how. However, with Mercury making its second contact, because remember, in a retrograde, you have a meet rework, resolve. That's the 3 strikes. First strike is so you can meet whatever issue is being highlighted, reworking it once it's within the so-called retrograde, after it goes station retrograde, and then when it goes station direct until it exits its retrograde zone from our perspective here as we see it on Earth. That's the resolve. So meet, rework, resolve is what you're looking at there with the retrogrades. All right. And we already know what will we be reworking. Be mentally vigilant via the ease in the mind's discipline, right? So you can be vigilant with the mental discipline that you have, right? And make things easier on beings. Like someone asks you a question without being offended because they may not know, or without, yourself, maybe you want to, say like, you don't really know, but at the same time, you would like to encourage people to be able to research. You say, well, according to my studies thus far, I see this. Or you can say, well, I'm not actually sure about that, actually. Let me, see if I can find out a little more. So be mentally vigilant via the ease in the mind's discipline. Be thorough for clarity, all righty? So that's just saying, give full disclosure, be thorough. All right, so for the 23rd, we see Mercury ingressing Sagittarius again, right? During this retrograde fashion there. So I'm pretty sure in order for me to get that, I'm going to have to type some things in so you guys can actually see when Mercury does it. Actually, again, I'll actually find that. But it's around 1:17 anti-meridian Eastern on the 23rd. And then those 3 testimonies there while Luna continues its transit in Taurus. All right, for the 24th, we see that Luna is finishing up its transit in Taurus, and then it will go void of course for about 1 hour and 34 minutes, all right? And then we will ingress Gemini at about 14 minutes after 0300 hours Eastern, all right? 25th, and that's about 3 testimonies on 24th also, right? 4 if you include the lunar ingress into Gemini, all right? Also for the 25th, right? And it's funny, you guys can kind of see, even though it's a little washed out, it's saying criminal right there, right? And for those of you that actually are familiar with, the presentation that I've given, alrighty, especially pertaining to, Seven Hill Star Astrology Firm's YouTube channel, you already know Veritas, right? Go and check the playlist. You can go to Seven Hill Star's YouTube channel, click on playlist, and you'll see Prophet Noble Drali and Veritas. It's a 14 video playlist. It's definitely there for your enjoyment and edification, especially when you're looking to be interested in the Astro-Masonics, so that you can take yourself out of dogma belief systems and be able to see how it further shows how the metaphysics and the Astro-Masonics is for us to be able to, they're tools for us to actually grasp that this is all things that are tied to our, that's pertaining to our consciousness, tied to our endocrine system. So they're on the 25th December, while Luna's continuing its transit through Gemini. You see those 2 testimonies I'll be giving there. For the 26th, full moon, guys. And you guys know on Intuition Monday, I went in on the full moon. And they will be taking place here on the 26th. All right, December 2023. All right, so with that being said, guys, what you see, I have 5 testimonies. And between, the second and third testimony, we see that Luna will be going void of course for 7 hours and 20 minutes before it makes its ingress into the sign in which it is very comfortable and that it hosts. Some will say the sign that it's domiciled, and that's Cancer. And then on the 27th, as I close on out, guys, you see 4 transits there that I'll be going in on. So how many transits do we have total? Let's see, that's 5, 7, 11, 15, 19, 21, 26, 30 total, including the ingresses. So let's knock these 30 out on these next 7 days, and I will be giving flash testimonies. I will be very brief, quick to the point, alrighty, when it comes to this. Thank you all for being there with me on the introducciones, all right? And I trust you guys are ready for us to actually go in on this, all righty? So let me stop the screen share there, and let's do a screen share here, all right? Pardon me. I got apple in my teeth. There you go, I got it. Guess I was saving that apple portion for later. And y'all got me a little apple in before I got on here with you guys. As I was putting things together. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Let me go and share the screen here. All righty, guys. So we see we have sunrise here at 29 degrees Sagittarius, 22 minutes, and it's taking place, right? It's taking place at 700 hours, 27 minutes, and 30 seconds. This solar ascendant conjunction for the 21st December 2023. From our perspective here near the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic. And you guys can see I'm using the house system for tropical regiomontanus, right? Maybe that's for you astrology scholars out there that may want to get familiar with more house systems if you're not familiar with anything outside of Placidus and whole sign. There are many, many, many more quadrant house systems out there that you can also check besides whole sign and equal house, right? You can check some of these other quadrant systems. Regiomontanus, I think, is something that, is pretty cool. Some people would probably have called it standard at some point in time, if I'm not mistaken. But, between that and Alcabetius, if I'm not mistaken. Alcabetius. All righty, so here we go. Just a little more technicality for the astro scholars out there. Brother Derek Blashface says, Islam. I'm on the video now. Indeed, you're on them now. Got you. You're on those videos now for Veritas. I think that's what you're referring to, Brother Derek. Indeed. Mother Sahara says, peaceful greetings. Brother Hassan and everyone in the chat. Indeed, peaceful greetings to you all that are joining us now and will join us in the dimensions to manifest, which we've termed the future. All right. So with that being said, guys, let us move forward. Make sure this camera is straight, guys. So forgive me, making sure it's all good and whatnot. All right, so here we go. Let's knock this thing on out. 29 degrees Sag, right? Imitation and acting is that degree, and it may be in conjunction with another fixed star here. I know if I was to actually bring this up for you guys, I bring up this encyclopedia just to show you what fixed star it's very close to. One may think Synastry, right? It usually goes to the left hand. Gamma Ophiuchi, right? And if I'm not mistaken, Gamma is the third brightest star. So the third magnitude star within the constellation of Ophiuchus, has the nature of Saturn and Venus, right? Slovenly, immoral, right? So really at this portion, maybe you'll be coming across maybe some actor that may be coming off slovenly, right? Look up what slovenly is etymologically, and possibly immoral. Maybe it'll be on a small scale, something that you're thinking that they're not checking the morale of pertaining to something, or maybe you'll actually see or recognize that some actor or something is being recognized for playing roles like that, or maybe you're actually watching something in one of those streaming apps of yours, or maybe there's a classic movie that you enjoy that you could actually probably be checking on this type of energy around this time. Maybe it was the night before and leading up to this energy, leading up to sunrise, that's what it is. Or maybe you're waking up and that energy pertaining to imitation and acting, or maybe there's someone you're coming across within your actual life, right? IRL, in real life. And what you're seeing is that they're kind of not themselves. All right. And you may see them taking on characteristics during this Mercury retrograde, of course, within the 16 degrees, 18 minutes span between 22 degrees Sag, 11 minutes, and 8 degrees, 29 minutes Capricorn. We'll see within that range, maybe there may be some things where people have this, imitation and acting of those qualities. Maybe you see some things you may think is immoral about them, or maybe they'll share with you some things that they're dealing with from someone else that they may, come to confide in you about, like, hey man, they're acting like this. It's a little different, right? So look that etymology up for slovenly and let's see what we get there, right? All right, so let me minimize this window here. And I know what I would like to do. Let me bring this up so I can actually see part for part here as I'm actually looking. And that way I can see what we got. So for our first transit, it's happening before sunrise, right? We're going to see the Venus-Uranian. So it's a Venusian-Uranian reflection, or we'll say Venus opposite Uranus, right? So let's get into these things. We'll give flash testimonies, right? You guys know, if you want detailed testimonies, the first thing that I always say is schedule your Mirror AstroLiteracy session with I, Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey. You already know. It is a 3-hour session for those that want to learn astrology by analyzing your own natal chart. It's a self-reflection session. It is always 459 units in lieu of lawful money via CashApp or Google Pay or Zelle. However, until January 20th, 2024, I'm doing 39% off, which brings the 3-hour session down to $279.99. You do not want to miss out on that reading, and I look forward to that. If you would like to get a 1-hour session for Celestial Promise, that is $153 for the eleemosynary tuition. All righty, so I want you to think that's the price or the cost or the charge. It is an eleemosynary tuition that you will be forwarding via Cash App, Google Pay, or Zelle, and I appreciate you guys in advance. All righty, so we're going to look at this. It's happening about 4 minutes after 0200 hours when Venus reflects Uranus, right? Venus is there in the second Regiomontanus house here, 19 degrees Scorpio, 13 minutes where Venus is. We know Venus by sign is technically feeling exiled, and we know the word exile in Latin, ex means out of, ile means parts or position, you know, so when something that's out of parts or out of position, out of place. So with that being said, when it comes to creativity of some things, maybe there's some abstract art that's taking place. It's making sudden changes in the values of people's relationships, so to speak. Uranus here is actually retrograde from our perspective here on Midgard, Earth plane Asha. So with this happening in the second and eighth house, of course, there's 7 houses apart. When it actually comes to relationships, the beauty and sudden changes that are reflecting within one's own personal values and the values pertaining to the relationship can really show that behind the scenes we're able to really make some beautiful sudden changes, especially when it comes to how we're looking at finances and actually how we're looking at love, so to speak. What's very interesting, Venus is ruling over Uranus there in the 8th, while at the same time, Mars there in Sagittarius. Very interesting because Mars is technically a semi-sextile, just shy of a full semi-sextile from Venus, while being in conjunct 150 degrees. Applying 150 degrees to Uranus, right? So also with that energy there with Jupiter also ruling over Mars and Mars ruling over Jupiter, there's kind of this mutual rulership there going on as far as the house cusps are concerned. What we can see is we can be very active in how we are going to really possess some type of abstract creativity of how we do things. Maybe we're finding the beauty in some fine food of some sort, where we're able to, you know, share how we think about, you know, things that are different to incorporate within how we relate to either a relative, maybe it's a loved one, maybe it's your consort, right? You know, your quote unquote, what some people may say spouse, but I prefer consort, right? So, you know, with that being said, what we're making sure we're reflecting is really the beauty and the sudden changes in our values and maybe the things that are happening psychologically pertaining to that, where we're seeing a mutual influence and reflection on the beauty in the sudden changes, all right? So with that, we're going to go next, and we see that we're having a Luna-Martian trine taking place right after this, right? So we see Luna and Mars are going to be 120 degrees in aspect to one another. All right. And this is happening, about an hour and 19 minutes after that Venusian Uranian reflection. So at about 0300 hours and 23 minutes, we actually see that we have Luna here, 19 degrees Aries, 27 minutes, and Mars is there at 19 degrees Sagittarius, 27 minutes. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses away. So when it comes to self-expression, creativity, maybe even one's children, right? If, and I get it. You're like, hold on, this is 3 o'clock in the morning, Eastern. Yeah, I get it. It's just the energies overall building up to this, culminating up to this point, or even, lingering afterwards. What I can see here, we're actually looking at how we're allowing our daily routine probably be able to show children what it is that we value and how we're just really being active in our world endeavors and really bringing to the forefront the importance of our world endeavors, what we're active there, and how we're able to really bring them home and be able to show leadership within the home. All righty. Mercury sextiling Saturn, right? Mercury and Saturn. There's a Mercurial-Saturnian sextile that's taking place after that, just about 6 minutes after sunrise, all right? And so we clearly see, and we're still here for the 21st December 2023, and then like I said, 0700 hours, 33 minutes, and 13 seconds. All right, so we see Mercury is here at 2 degrees, Capricorn, 23 minutes, retrograde, while Saturn's here at 2 degrees, Pisces, 23 minutes. This is happening within the first and second houses. So, hey, maybe there's something that you like to begin pertaining to your own possessions, right? Maybe you're looking to get your own land conveyance. Maybe you've been always, getting a ride. Maybe you've been taking a bus. So, you know what? Even though I would like to have this Benz, or I've been driving, been behind the wheel, right? Conveying behind the wheel in this land conveyance, so to speak, right? Or automobile, whichever one you prefer. And I noticed that I would like to be able to, quote unquote, save energy in terms of finances. So you may find yourself transacting for some type of, quote unquote, economy size 4-cylinder land conveyance or automobile. And in that, what you're looking to do is, kind of have a transformation in maybe even your carbon footprint, as well as the footprint that's in your wallet. All righty. So next we see that we have Luna actually, and it's funny because we were just talking about that Pluto when I was saying, transformation. I'm referring to that Pluto at 29 degrees Capricorn within the first house in this chart, right? Luna is actually going to be quartile to Pluto, right? So a lunar Plutonian quartile, or a moon square Pluto, all righty, for those that may have to hear it like that. All right, so Luna is clearly at 29 degrees Aries, 3 minutes, all right? And Luna's actually within the ninth house here. So we're looking at ninth house. And then we have Pluto here, 29 degrees Capricorn, 3 minutes in the sixth. And these are 4 houses away. So when it comes to property, right, at your home, I think someone's going to actually be looking at maybe making decisions in, changing the structure. So maybe you're planning renovations for your home right now. And it may be based off the fact that you really would like to set up something in the home that could be not just an office, but also a learning space. All righty. So it may be a media center. Maybe you're looking to have a media center within the home, so that not only can you work there, but what you can also do is have a place for your youth, your little ones, to be able to study, have an environment that will help them in their studies, or it's, you got an environment that's suitable for them to be able to study, right? We have a solar lunar trine that's taking place after that there, guys. All righty. So with that being said, with the solar lunar trine, we see Sun is here, 29 degrees. Sagittarius, 58 minutes. Within the 4th house, Luna is there, 29 degrees. Aries, 58 minutes. Within the 9th house, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses apart. Kind of dealing with your daily routine, maybe even your pets and health. All righty. So when it comes to that, I think you're going to shine a light really on probably learning something about what it is that you actually possess, pertaining to knowledge, probably pertaining to your heart. Maybe it's something about your back, right? Maybe even too, when you go to a chiropractor and you may be experiencing some type of headaches or something, what you've actually learned was maybe there was an issue with whiplash, or maybe you laid the wrong way in the bed and you got this cramp in your neck and is making your head hurt. Maybe visiting a chiropractor will probably allow you to get the Atlas place and Axis place adjusted to relieve whatever tension I think is going on in the head, right? And again, guys, when I give these flash testimonies, I'm going off of insight and intuition. All right. Not only do I use astrology, and at times I'll use tarot. I'm just not referring to the tarot right now like I did on Monday as much, but these are tools that help me to kind of pinpoint more of what I'm taking on psychically. All righty. So that's just kind of how I'm looking at that there, dealing with how I'm giving my testimony, just to give you a little more disclosure. All right. So next we see Luna is void of course. All righty. For 3 minutes after this, Luna is literally going to be void of course. You guys already know Moon void of course is buyer's remorse. All righty. Moon void of course is buyer's remorse. Alrighty, so with that being said, make no major purchases, make no major decisions during the moon or the course, whether it's 3 minutes like it is now, or the third one that you guys will see me do soon. Like the third one that I will be doing is like 7 hours and 20 minutes. That's why you want to make sure you make all your major transactions and decisions either before or after a void, of course, moon. All right. So we're going to say that there, boom, it's taking place in about 2100 hours and 50 minutes. Oh, hold on. Did I go too far-ish? Let me double check. Let me go previous. Here we go. 2100 hours. I think I hit that next button. No, a find time position button twice. Gratitude indeed for your patience. So again, for the 21st December 2023 at 2100 hours, 49 minutes, 52 seconds Eastern, we see Luna ingressing Taurus, which is his exaltation sign, in the sun's joy. The sun has its joy in the 9th house, right? Which means Luna has its joy in the 3rd. So reflecting this, maybe, just maybe you guys will find some value, maybe something to kind of fall in your lap as some type of publication or some higher learning resource that will allow you to probably even better your standing and your status amongst your peers, maybe even kind of give you a boost as far as essential things that's needed to better your standing amongst your loved ones, especially how it will reflect not only in your career, but in your home also. Mars, of course, ruling over this lunar ingress into Taurus, because we see that Aries is on the cusp at 24 degrees. What I'm actually seeing here with that 24 relating to Pisces, right? What we can see is we are able to probably finally isolate some things about psychology and ourselves. Maybe here we'll actually learn something about ourselves and be able to see and have a moment of clarity within our own subconscious mind to be able to move forward in how we further expand ourselves amongst our peers at work and abroad, all right? And after this, we see that not only are we having a lunar ingress, right, but just about 37 minutes after that, we see that Sol is actually ingressing Capricorn, right? So Sol ingressing Capricorn about 27 minutes after 2200 hours, to be exact, 27 minutes and 8 seconds after 2200 hours for the 21st December 2023. And Sol is making that ingress within the 4th house, guys. So when it comes to security, family, property, ancestors, you know, and I trust no one's dealing with a so-called funeral here, but if you are, what I think will actually take place is you'll be able to, you know, explain, right, probably to children, what it means when a family member or a loved one actually transitions. What's interesting too is that Leo is there on the 12th house cusp, right here. So maybe dealing with some fascination and denial when it comes to things that may be unknown, maybe needing some closure, especially when it comes to communicating to children some things that are quite necessary that they may not comprehend or may not understand. So if you're actually dealing with that, you guys know I'm not a doom and gloom astrologer in any way, shape, or form. However, in order to further expand on what, you know, values you want to share with children pertaining to such, you may can take this as a time, as a learning lesson to kind of show them the values and how to see what things happen to, you know, when it comes to people transitioning, so that they can have a healthy way within their own psychology to be able to help them develop as a child while dealing with a transition of some sort within the family. All right. So I just wanted to put that out there. Right. So now we have a lunar ascendant conjunction taking place, which we call sunrise. And sunrise is now taking place for the 22nd at 0700 hours and 28 minutes for the 22nd December 2023. Sunrise taking place just 23 minutes after 0 degrees Capricorn. And it's very interesting to see that, because, you know, just to kind of give you guys 0 degrees Capricorn, right? The galactic center, right? This is according to 1925, though. And the galactic center now is roughly around 26, 25 degrees Sagittarius, however. The most important point in astrology, right? The cusp of the 22nd lunar mansion, an ambitious degree. So when it comes to ambition, right? You know, that's why I said you can really use that energy all right, to kind of communicate the structure of things, all righty. Make sure you can be able to bring some things essential for health, even mental health, maybe healthy conversation to help mold the thinking of those around you that actually look to you and actually trust in the things that you say, all right? So the first testimony that I will be going in on is a lunar mercurial trine here, right? So there's this flow of energy going on with the trine as we see. And of course, this is happening before sunrise, about 21 minutes after 0000 hours, right? To be exactly 21 minutes after 0000 hours. All righty, and we see Luna's here at 1 degree Taurus, all right? 1 degree Taurus, 26 minutes. And it is within the 8th house, all right? So that's, we know 8th house energy is inheritances. It's the values pertaining to the relationship. Why? Because relationship or partnership or relatives is 7th house. And the values to the 7th, which is second to the 7th, is the 8th house. Just to put that there. Luna's there, of course. Like I said, 1 degree Taurus, 26 minutes. And we see Mercury, of course, 1 degree Capricorn, 26 minutes. While it's still retrograde, and it's there within the 3rd. So 3rd and 8th house energy, right? So we're making sure that we're communicating something about inheritances, or there's some child development in how to share or partner their, their energies and values, so to speak, right? Joining their energies with other relatives. So with these being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses away, it's dealing with, of course, the daily routine. I will say though, if it's dealing with pets in any way, shape, or form, this would be the time to kind of go for a walk. All righty, as you're going for that walk with that pet, or letting that pet in the backyard, I think it would be wise to actually pay attention to the behaviors of that pet in the backyard, especially if you have a dog, right, a canine of some sort. But if it's some other kind of pet of some sort, maybe you need to pay attention to what that pet is actually communicating, especially when it goes to relieve themselves, all righty? When it goes to maybe use the litter box or anything of that nature, maybe you have to pay attention to, maybe their behaviors. And you're like, okay, I have noticed that they did this a lot. Or maybe if you're finding that that pet is not, relieving themselves where they normally would, maybe this will be a clue into kind of investigating why. All right. So Lunar sextile Saturn after this, right? So there's a growth opportunity between home and the essentials and what's being shared there, right? So now we have a lunar sextile Saturn. And while at home sharing these, we having a way to share our values, so to speak, with our relatives, right? But the reason why I said share, of course, because Saturn not only rules Capricorn, it also rules Aquarius. So, finding the essential things to share, of course, with that being said, of course, Saturn's there in the 4th house. So these are 4 houses away, right? So when it comes to one's grandmother, right, I think Big Mama, so to speak, as some will say, or their grandmother or great grandmother, because 7th house is 4th to the 4th. So that would be your mother's mother, or it could be your father's mother. I feel right here that there's definitely something that grandma is definitely going to be able to share, especially if that grandmother is someone who is quote unquote quite religious, I think, so to speak. So there may be something that you guys may find that she's always kept near and dear. And maybe it's something that she kept a list of. Maybe you guys find that, hey, grandma didn't have a birth certificate. So how do we know what's going on with so-called her when she manifested? And you guys will find, oh, look, grandma actually kept the family Bible, not just on herself, but everyone in the family, just to kind of put that energy out there. All right. Peaceful greetings, Mother Janelle Blash L. She says peaceful greetings to you, Mother. All righty. So next we have a lunar Jupiterian conjunction taking place here, guys. All right. So for that lunar Jupiterian conjunction taking place on the 22nd of December, 2023 at about 53 minutes and 11 seconds after 0700 hours, right? So this is, just about 35 minutes after sunrise. So Luna and Jupiter are conjunct here, 5 degrees Taurus, 42 minutes. Of course, Jupiter is appearing to move retrograde in the zodiac while Luna is still direct. All right, so this is taking place within the fourth house. What's very interesting, Luna and Jupiter do pretty great terrestrially in the fourth house. There's a bit of dignity there in my book, according to my studies with them. And it's pertaining to one's health, right? So, when it comes to health, if we were to look at this, right, not only is Taurus the neck and throat, but the fourth house in some way, shape, or form could also be associated with the breast and stomach. However, when it comes to this, I think this is very interesting. I think mothers will be taking, notes on breastfeeding. Maybe you're doing lactation classes. Maybe you're someone who is finding the importance in not only these classes, but also sharing the importance of, the values of what can be eaten to be able to better promote the baby's health and things of that nature. I think that's one thing that's being brought up here as far as I'm thinking. However, when it comes to your own health, you can be able to further take your health and expand it by really allowing your subconscious mind and the people that you discuss things with to be beneficial to how you grow in your knowledge pertaining to the values of what you possess when it comes to health. All right. So even also this may be tied to, maybe there's some agricultural group you're tied to, or maybe there's a gardeners group that you're tied to, and you'll see there will be some information that you're able to utilize to better expand your home garden, so to speak. All right. And then finally, we have another conjunction. It's a lunar mercurial conjunction because a solar mercurial conjunction, right? Because Mercury, of course, is appearing retrograde from our perspective here on Earth, right? So this solar mercurial conjunction is taking place at about 54 minutes after 1300 hours. So 1300 hours, 53 minutes and 46 seconds. All right. And it's taking place here within the 8th house. Looky, Astro Cookie. And Jupiter there having its accidental dignity within the 12th, terrestrially having some accidental dignity, while under its own dispositorship is also ruling over the sun here too. And so I really think there's some wounded healing that one could move towards, right? Get out of your comfort zone, right? The wounded healing will take you to get out of your comfort zone while also really expanding some things and giving rise to the people in your life, showing some appreciation for them, while also at the same time being able to make sure that you are really communicating, all righty, the values and what you learn, probably even pertaining to astrology, so to speak, since we're still conjunct the galactic center here as far as 1925 is concerned, but, still within or about 5 or 6 degrees as far as conjunct. However, I think here is where people will be able to inherit some information and knowledge and maybe be able to pass some things on. Maybe they're coming to some kind of closure and having an end to some type of questioning or inquiry in their mind. And there's a bit of an aha moment that's taking place because one's thinking and their heart are on the same page here. All right. So take advantage of that and make sure you're internalizing that communication that will help you in your endeavors, so to speak, as far as actively growing in your standing amongst your peers. All right. So now we're moving on to the 23rd, right? That's what we just finished up for that holy degree there, right? Because Friday is the holy day, right? Man formed in the flesh on a Friday, and man that came out of flesh on a Friday. All right. For those of you that are studying what Prophet Nobudrali has divinely prepared for us, or you're really into the metaphysics there when it's dealing with that, so to speak. So the next sunrise is taking place at 1 degree Capricorn, 24 minutes, guys, right? So with that, it's an Aryan degree. So I think we can take things head on. Maybe you guys are finding a way to gore, right? Gore means to headbutt. Maybe you're spearheading, so to speak, some endeavor when it comes to discipline and structure. When it comes to discipline and structure, maybe you're taking yourself seriously in what it is that you're putting your mind to and really setting priorities in a way where you're making some transformation in how you begin your day, all right? Maybe you're doing something a little different there on the 23rd, all right? So before sunrise, of course, we have Mercury retrograding, so to speak, as far as, and this is probably what I need to do. I probably need to just bring Mercury to about, let me see. Let me just type this here. I'm going to actually come to the 23rd here. Let me just type 23. And then, because I'm pretty sure how this software works, it's not going to take me where I want to go. So we're going to do 0100 hours and 17 minutes. I'll leave it at 30 seconds. Let's apply the date and the time. And we should have, for the 23rd, right, we should have Mercury, right, ingressing back. There we go. Mercury is ingress Sag again. So this is Mercury going bizbackwards, right? And that's interesting how that is saying 59.9 minutes. It's like I got it to the T. Like I got it exactly or something. I've never seen my software do a 59.9 before as far as the retrograde is concerned. But I think that's very interesting. So anyhow, Mercury ingress Sagittarius based off its retrograde within the third house. So there's some accidental dignity there, even though Mercury, like Venus in Scorpio, Mercury in Sag is feeling out of place. However, what we can do here is just really enjoy the fact that Mercury in Sagittarius, it really promotes a means to really study and go in on some things that we've always been interested in. And what we'll actually find with this, it's interesting how the sun now is in the moon's joy in the third while reflecting on this ninth. What can come out from our studies, we may be able to share some things in terms of publishing or maybe even writing our own journal. Alrighty. And in writing our own journal, what we're actually discovering about ourselves is that we are very active in how we're really expanding what has been shared with us, or really finding a way to be comfortable to share what we feel and what we think, right? So that's just kind of what I see there for that Mercury retrograde. And again, what we're doing is, remember, in the retrograde, when a planet that's going retrograde or gets within its retrograde shadow, we're meeting whatever issues we need to meet within that span of that retrograde zone, which is also called a retrograde shadow. Here is some reworking that's taking place. And in this reworking, what we're also seeing is a bit of something that probably pertains to some imitation and acting. Maybe one wasn't so honest about something, and now you're about to come clean about it. All righty. And this is a time for you to really just be yourself and share what it is, and any insecurities that are there, let them not be there, and just be completely honest. And I think there will be some comprehension that will come from people, and some compassion, because your bravery in saying, hey, this is why I said this way, but this is what really was going on with me. You'll find that people will embrace you. All right. So after that, Luna is conjunct Uranus, right? So sudden changes in the home, right? So let's look at that. Luna's conjunct Uranus at about 33 minutes and 13 seconds after 0800 hours, all right? Luna and Uranus are conjunct at 19 degrees Taurus, all right? 36 minutes. In modern astrology, Uranus is exiled, right? Uranus is out of sorts, right? Because it's exalted in Scorpio, even though, in traditional astrology, Scorpio has no planets in exaltation there. So at 19 degrees, of course, that's a Libra degree. So we're finding some balance, maybe some justice when it comes to home. Maybe we're finding, a balance in how secure we feel and making the sudden changes in our subconscious mind. Maybe there's some things that we are sharing from our homes, right? Maybe you're looking to take some old furniture or other things in the home, and you're making donations, all right, to like Salvation Army or Goodwill. And so with that being said, that makes you feel better about yourself. However, the people may also be rebelling against some values that are already out there, because what they're checking is the security of something that was in place for them. And they realize that, it's not as strong as it could be, due to the people actually coming across some new information poured out to them. And now the people collectively are kind of petitioning to, make some changes, in the values and structure of maybe a particular group they're a part of or something like that, so to speak, right? So next, we're seeing Luna is reflecting Venus after this, right? So Luna is reflecting Venus in this lunar Venusian reflection, or we will also say, some will know, Moon opposite Venus, right? Happening at 1400 hours, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And we see Luna here at 22 degrees, Taurus, 40 minutes, still in this exaltation. Even though we know we see Venus here is like, "Mwah." But Venus is doing great in the seventh house, right? Terrestrially speaking, Venus has accidental dignity there in the seventh house. So what's being reflected here is we are able to have the people reflect on their values. The people actually look at themselves and see the things that they have going on for themselves. And then when they look at their relatives, they're probably thinking of ways they can contribute to a relative. Maybe you know someone who is maybe dealing with some tough issues, really trying to find their place in some things that they're doing. So, people may be finding ways to be charitable to their relatives with this energy. Luna is sextile Neptune, right? Neptune is the higher vibration of Venus here, right? So there's some growth opportunity between the people and institutions, right? So with that being said, we know Luna's still in Taurus, 24 degrees, 59 minutes. Still 24 degrees is a Piscean degree, so there could be some type of closure needed. Maybe there's something a bit hidden. Maybe we're dealing with some isolating energies. And we see Neptune there in the ninth house, right? Very interesting. It's the ninth house. While it's ruling over, of course, it's the contemporary co-ruler to Pisces within modern astrology, right? Within this Jupiterian house, so to speak, as far as terrestrially speaking. So it has some relation there. However, I think here is where we're able to probably enjoy some music. I really think that this is where people are really probably not just enjoying the lyrics of the song, but probably the production and the instrumentation of music. So, when it comes to music here, guys, what I think would be best to do is really take your time in, reflecting on that which it is that you're enjoying, because that may actually lead you to making a decision. Like maybe you're like, man, I really enjoy the production of this music or things of that nature. Then maybe you want to learn taking up piano, or maybe you want to, get some studio equipment and learn how to actually make certain soundscapes, so to speak, for yourself. All right. And now we're moving on to the 24th. All right. December 2023. As I move quickly, and I shall make this uber fast, right? Because I have some things to attend to in about 39 minutes. All right. So 2 degrees, Capricorn, 25 minutes, guys. Taurian degree here. So if we're looking at Taurus and Capricorn and the sun, it's where we can be very creative in how we structure our values, guys. All righty. And we know the sun rules over Leo. So how we structuring those values, we're doing it so that we can be able to pass things on to someone else within our family, within our kinship, so to speak. All right. Now, of course, before sunrise, Luna is making its last aspect while finishing up its transit in Taurus, trying to Pluto, actually. So there's this free-flowing, harmonious energy, right? Taking place, of course, before sunrise, about 40 minutes after 100 hours, 39 minutes, 35 seconds to be exact, after 100 hours for the 24th December 2023, right? Luna and Pluto are trying at 29 degrees, 7 minutes. Luna, of course, still in his exaltation sign in Taurus within the 8th house. Wow. Pluto's there in Capricorn, direct, of course, within the 4th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses away. So, guys, be very creative in how you're going to, transform your home. I think renovations is something I'm seeing kind of pop up again. So when it comes to home renovations, alrighty, don't necessarily throw certain things out unless it's actually broken and you think whatever. But I think this is where people are like, oh my goodness, look at this. Let me get my hands on this, or you may find yourself asking for the gift receipt for something that someone may have gotten for you, and you're like, I'm going to return this. All right. All right. Now, after that, Luna goes over the course for an hour and 34 minutes, and then it's going to ingress Gemini. Right. So Luna makes this Geminian ingress. All right. Hold on. I might have went a little too fizzar. Let me go forward there. Pardon me. Gratitude indeed for your patience in advance. For 24th December 2023 at 14 minutes and 30 seconds after 0300 hours, Luna is making its ingress within the seventh, within Gemini, within the seventh house. So here, guys, we can actually, hey, communicate to the loved ones, right? What's on your mind, especially if, while you guys are home, right? This is the time to really have not necessarily a family meeting, like, there's some intervention, but if that intervention is taking place, find a means to really make the sudden changes in the balance of someone's life. If they're experiencing imbalances, this is where the family can come together to assist in a loving fashion to help someone actually balance their life. All righty. And I think this is where the family will be compassionate and not take advantage of someone who may need a bit of assistance with certain areas in their life. And next we see Luna and Saturn making a square to one another just after sunrise, right? Roughly about 19 minutes after sunrise-ish. Is that right? Let me see. 29 minutes, roughly, after sunrise, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what I'm looking at, right? 28, 29. Yeah. So with that being said, guys, we actually see Luna here at 2 degrees, Gemini, 37 minutes. Of course, Saturn is here 2 degrees, 37 minutes in Pisces, ruling over itself, and Luna is being ruled by Venus here, right? Which is under Mars's dispositive ship, which takes us to Jupiter, right? Which takes us back to Venus. So Venus is final dispositor there. So guys, this is how we're going to be able to find the beauty in what the group is saying to us, right? So we'll find that the group is really valuing how we structure our creativity, right? We're going to find also, too, that maybe there will be a group of beings that will see what it is that you do. They had no idea that what it is that you do as far as artwork, or maybe there's some creative endeavor that you're in, and you'll find that you'll get a lot of support from your peer group, all right? And so now we have Sol and Saturn aspecting each other, but instead of square, they have a sextile. So there's a growth opportunity between the heart and the essentials, or maybe really checking how one has, the back of the structure of something, or the infrastructure of some things. So the sun's there, 2 degrees Capricorn, of course, 38 minutes in its joy in the ninth, and then Saturn's in its joy also. These guys are 4 houses apart, right? 9, 10, 11 is 4 houses apart. Saturn is there 2 degrees, Pisces 38 minutes in its joy. This is very muy interesante, right? So, of course, Jupiter's final dispositor here, as I see. And so as far as the sun is concerned, ruling over Mars and the sun, right? Jupiter being ruled by Mars because it's in the first house. So what we see here, guys, is when it comes to, you're probably planning a trip, planning some type of travel or something, or you're actually solidifying some things that you already planned as far as trips and travel. And maybe it's dealing with, school of some sort. Maybe the visiting loved ones that are visiting from university or college of some sort, they will have a lot to share with you. They may even show you some things that not only that they've learned, but you're going to find that maybe they're getting some type of reward for something being published that they've actually written, right? They put together some kind of report. They were able to share a story of some sort. And what you actually see is they may have a professor who is really seeking to take what it is that they wrote and publish it. It's going to be a pretty huge thing there, all righty? Now we're moving on to sunrise for the 25th, right? Let's find that ascendant. And now we have this next solar ascendant conjunction taking place. And it's taking place about 3 degrees, 26 minutes in Capricorn. So here we go. When it comes to the neighborhood, guys, I feel like this is where people are going to probably be, even though it's to some people it's called the Christmas or whatever, and maybe they celebrate it a certain way or whatever. I think here's where people are going to be probably doing some charity work within the neighborhood, even if it's something as small as wherever you are. If it's really snowing or something, maybe you're providing the means for children to sled, so to speak, or some child didn't have a sled or a board, and you're like, here, I got these new trash can tops that you guys can slide with, so you can have fun with the rest of the children in the neighborhood. All right. So, of course, before sunrise, we see Venus and Neptune, right? Venus and its higher octave, Neptune, they are having a harmonious aspect between one another, right? And of course, like I said, this is happening before sunrise. Oh, pardon me, it's actually happening after noon. Forgive me. All right, 14 minutes, 52 seconds after 1200 hours. All right, and so Venus there, 25 degrees, right? 25 degrees. Scorpio, 0 minutes within the 8th house. Very interesting. Venus is an 8th sign in the 8th house. It's like, wow. However, we can really find the beauty. Probably really find the beauty in the psychological makeup of those that we're relating to. May be able to value our relatives or our loved ones' mindset and how they think, while at the same time really being able to see that there's actually some favor, so to speak. Very interesting. Saturn and Sun still in their joys. Neptune there is pretty domicile, feeling pretty great also. 25 degrees gives us, Aryan degree. So I think when it comes to leadership, right, I think somebody can take charge, so to speak, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and how they're going to really express themselves and really be creative in how, there is probably something dealing with relatives and maybe there's a disagreement or something. And I think here is where a moment of clarity is going to take place, because something is going to get explained and be able to put in terms that someone can comprehend, and that will actually die down probably a 10-year miscomprehension. Maybe there's some family members that weren't speaking at all to one another, and someone is taking the lead and really showing the beauty that is being instituted when someone actually allows themselves to kind of do something that may have been frowned upon by certain values. Like maybe your family wanted you to be a doctor or an attorney, and you like, man, I want to travel the world and be an artist and make like clay figurines of different things that inspire me from my travel. And they're like, are you an idiot? And then someone else in the family kind of takes the lead, or maybe it's an elder of the family that actually kind of reveals something about themselves and show like, well, you guys respect me. Let me tell you what I did with my life. So actually this, grandchild of mine is doing exactly what I've done, just in a different way. So that's kind of what I see there, guys. And finally, for the 25th, all righty, we see there's a Luna Martian reflection. Luna's there, 22 degrees, Gemini, 56 minutes, and Mars is at 22 degrees, 56 minutes in Sag. It's happening between the 10th and 4th house. So, guys, when it comes to the activity in the home, right, I think this is where we can turn energy of confusion and maybe anger instead of like, oh, well, we're upset or angry about this. This can be an awesome family game night, all righty? And what you can do is, especially if you're playing spades here, right? Because Mars is the cutting energy. So like, boom, I'm cutting. This is where you guys can really have fun in some type of structured game, and it'll really help to bring you and the loved ones closer. All right. Sun is conjunct the ascendant for the 26th at approximately 30 minutes after 0700 hours. All right. So with that being said, we're at 4 degrees, Capricorn, 27 minutes. 0700 hours, 29 minutes, 39 seconds to be exact, for when that sunrise is taking place on the 26th December, 2023. 4 degrees is a Cancerian degree, right? So this is where, probably some closeness that happened the night before or will be culminating actually on the rise there, right? As far as the love between mother and their children. I think this will be very prominent, and I think here is where some things will be getting discussed as far as family inheritances and maybe things that were left to the family, and maybe being able to further go into what is there and what has been shared. And I trust if anyone is dealing with, like I said earlier, maybe a family member transitioning and dealing with issues of a will last will and testament and things of that nature, beings will be able to be cordial about how things within the will are distributed. Peaceful greetings to you also, Brother Tyrell. I see you there in the chat a lot. All right, so moving forward, before sunrise, of course, we have Lunar and Neptune having their quartile, right? Moon square Neptune. So this is where we find, ourselves being challenged or, challenged in getting over the obstacle and making sure we're stimulating our subconscious mind while we're probably dealing with some isolated issues, so to speak. And of course, I said this is before sunrise, about 57 minutes after 0000 hours, 57 minutes, 7 seconds to be exact. Alrighty, Luna's there at 25 degrees. Gemini, 0 minutes. Neptune, of course, 25 degrees. Pisces, 0 minutes. In the 6th house, 1, 2, 3, 4 houses away. So here, if we're dealing with, I think here's where, the family realizes that they have to kind of like a community help with the everyday flow of some family member who is probably on some type of bed rest or something, or family member who may need some medical attention. However, no one wants their loved one to go in hospice, so to speak. So maybe the family is helping that way, or this is a family who helps with like an assisted living kind of energy, so to speak. You know what I mean? As far as a family business, so to speak. And so there may be some assistance there. What can actually be done is, maybe someone is, sharing some literature pertaining to that, pertaining to assisted living, while also at the same time, because that's their everyday work, right? And working that. So that's kind of what I see there, all right? So be open-minded to allowing that to flow. Luna and Mercury reflecting one another after that, right? So let's double that 90 into 180. And we have a lunar mercurial reflection. So what is your subconscious mind reflecting in your thoughts, right? What is it that you're speaking about? 26 degrees, 4 minutes. In Gemini is where the moon is in the 8th house. And in Sagittarius is where Mercury is within the 2nd. So yeah, let our subconscious mind really reflect the values of those that we are relating to. We may be able to communicate our own values in order to, actively, find a way of expressing ourselves to our loved ones in order to actually better merge our energies with our relatives, all right? Luna is ingressing its domicile sign. Why? Because after Luna is reflecting Mercury here, it is void of course for 7 hours and 20 minutes. We already know moon void of course is buyer's remorse. Make no transactions at all until after 10:15. And if you're going to you need anything for the 26th to start off with, and make sure you make your final transactions on the 25th, if anything's open for you guys. If not, make all your transactions on the 24th. That's the whole point of our 7-day Tropic Medical Astro Weather Report, to see 7 days in advance so that we can be wise in our planning, all right? So with that being said, now we're seeing Luna ingress Cancer, and it's taking place right here in the 5th house, right? Luna ingressing Cancer within the 5th house. Hey guys, this is where have some fun, right? With the little ones and for the little ones. This is where I think people will actually learn a lot about themselves, as well as also, if mom has a different consort, so to speak, or you may find that mother shares that she's smitten with someone. Make sure you guys are being open about that, or let the family really express how they really feel or whatever. You know what I mean? As far as mother expressing herself or whatever, or maybe mom actually is not showing it, but may be a bit secretive about some things, because I'm seeing Gemini here, right? 27 degrees is also communicating. So maybe someone will probably overhear, mother discussing maybe a love interest, or one will actually see that mother has a cool idea about something, right? And she may need some help in getting that idea off the ground. It could be dealing with sewing, because Gemini deals with the hands as far as where the 5th house cusp is. So mother could be working with her hands and her creativity. So maybe it's something dealing with crafting of some sort, or quilting, maybe knitting baby booties of some sort, you know what I mean? Or maybe there's some news of someone being with child, all right? So then we see Luna is in a free-flowing energy with Saturn, right? 120 degrees is an aspect between them two, happening about 29 minutes after 1500 hours, all right? So now we're looking at Luna at 2 degrees, Cancer, 28 minutes, and Saturn's there, 2 degrees, Pisces, 48 minutes. Pardon me, 48 minutes, 2 degrees, Cancer, 48 minutes, 2 degrees, Pisces, 48 minutes, right? Between Luna and Saturn here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses away. This is where we can really be, this is where I like to say we can bring center stage, right? How we actually feel about, you know, mother and father. I think here is where an appreciation for both mother and father will take place. And even with that last aspect that I was speaking on about Luna ingressing Saturn, I think here is where one will actually see or really get kind of a backstory pertaining to how mother and father met. All right. And how, you know, the family has become what it has become. All right. Then we have our full moon taking place at about 33 minutes after 1900 hours. All right. And again, I went in on this on Intuition Monday, so you guys can get a little more in depth of how I went in on that collectively pertaining to every sign, you know, dealing with that full moon energy. However, we're seeing that this full moon is taking place 4 degrees. Capricorn, 58 minutes is where the sun is within the 5th house, having its accidental dignity there in the 5th. Luna there in Cancer, enjoying itself while it's domicile, however, within the 11th house. Hey, when it comes to other people's children and your children, I think this is where it's going to have to be, you know, communicated in how, you know, the fairness in the family. Maybe there's a little nepotism that's happening. Maybe there's a little explanation to what needs to be, you know, comprehended when it comes to actively communicating why the family are together, how people are relatives. Maybe someone is actually finding out that it's probably, you know, a time that, you know, people wouldn't say is best, but maybe people are finding out that, you know, they're really the child of someone else, right? Or someone's finding out that there's other children that have not been, you know, explained to someone else that this is what's going on. I think this will be a time where it'll be either unveiled by word or by action, with actually people being there, and it'll all be unveiled to all those in attendance. All right. So that's kind of what it's showing me there with that energy as I'm thinking of it at this moment. Then Luna is sextile Jupiter, guys. All righty. And so there's a growth opportunity energy there with Luna and Jupiter. This is where, you know, mom can further expand on a means to, maybe share a video that she's seen. All righty. Why? Because Luna's there 5 degrees, Cancer, 37 minutes. Jupiter is retrograde still. However, 5 degrees Taurus, 37 minutes. These houses are 3 houses away, 9 and 11. So 9, 10, 11 gets you 3 houses. So yeah, maybe there's something that, you know, when it comes to early childhood development, right? Maybe there's a video that mom still has. And she's like, look at these videos. So mom may actually go to share some things. And what happens is she's able to further kind of expand on her points and some things about family and what it has done for her. And I think you guys will definitely see that come out. Or this may just be mother and father overall actually sharing why they have, you know, video records, so to speak, of family get-togethers and things of that nature. Brother John Alexander Dix, hey, what's going on, broski? Peaceful greetings to you, peace and love also, bro. All right, so now we're looking at sunrise for the 27th, and then I'm going to wrappeth thiseth on upeth. And I thank you guys again for joining me. Those that are here live joining me, gratitude indeed. I appreciate you all so much. And those that will come in dimensions to manifest that we term the future, thank you guys also for tuning in and catching this replay. 5 degrees Capricorn, 29 minutes is where this solar ascendant conjunction is taking place. This is a Leonian degree, so the sun can be pretty chill here. I think here's where we can be able to kind of lay down the foundation of how we feel about someone. Maybe you're crushing on someone, right? Maybe the energy of this day is to express how you feel. Maybe someone will be proposing. I don't know. I will wait till after January, after January 20th, 2024 to make that proposal, unless this is something that you already planned on doing before Mercury went retrograde and it wasn't during the moon or the course, then maybe you can move forward, or you can actually kind of see where the mindset is of one whom you would like to propose to. Maybe this is where you can kind of, have those conversations with your loved one and really see what information can be poured out, especially with the sun here within the fifth house, conjunct the ascendant, ruling over the eighth house at 11 degrees, the eighth house cusp, right? So yeah, definitely share that information and that energy pertaining to the relationship values, right? Can definitely have that conversation. All right. For sunrise, we have a Mercurial Neptunian quartile there, right? So Mercury is squaring Neptune, of course. Right? Mercury squaring Neptune, and of course it is happening before sunrise, about 42 minutes after 0200 hours, to be exact, 42 minutes, 16 seconds after 0200 hours for the 27th of December, 2023. All right. So Mercury is there, 25 degrees, Sagittarius 1 minute retrograde of cars. And then we see Neptune, 25 degrees, 1 minute in Pisces in the fifth house. These are 4 houses away. So how do we really secure the values with our little ones, or how do we actually possess our own self-expression? Well, you got to be one who really thinks and communicates. All righty. Really think and communicate in a global fashion, right? Those values that you possess in order to be able to further institute, right? Really institute the isolated creative ideals within oneself. It's nothing to do that. All you got to do is just really have some confidence, being active and moving forward in what you're thinking, right? So you're thinking globally. However, you will institutionalize it and isolate it to kind of act locally, but really be able to express those values that you possess. Now we see Sol and Jupiter, all right? Solar Jupiterian, all right? Trine there. There's just this free flow energy between the heart and expansion, right? Or what you may want to do is make sure there's not a flood somewhere, right? You don't want to check, the background of something, and it's just like, oh, hold on, guys, let me move forward there. All right, 27th December 2023 at about 1000 hours, 28 minutes, 4 seconds. We have Sol at 5 degrees, Capricorn, 36 minutes. And of course, Jupiter is at 5 degrees, Taurus, 36 minutes, retrograde. Within the second house, we see Jupiter, and we see Sol in 11th house, where it has accidental debilitation, some would say, because it's terrestrially comfortable, so to speak, in the fifth, the sun, that is. And however, 1, 2, 3, 4 houses away, guys. So this is where we can really be able to not only secure how we express ourselves to others, but I think also here is where we see the values of how other people feel about us in terms of our values, which really gives us the confidence to better expand ourselves. So I think here is where you allow the group to better help you expand on your own self-esteem. Just do not overindulge on it, right? Don't allow yourself to implode, so to speak. As far as how you're looking. So as far as how you're looking at yourself and like, hey, I feel so great. You don't want to self-aggrandize to the point where you lose perspective on who you've always been. It's just really great to have someone actually express within the group how they actually see you, right? And this will allow you to further discipline your heart and how you actually kind of be with other people and other beings. This is going to actually kind of allow you to graduate to other aspects outside of doubt. Any self-doubt that you'll have, it can be eliminated with how people securely share how they, value you, which will help you to further expand your own values and get you out of your comfort zone so you can make the sudden changes necessary, all right, within yourself, all right, and within your own value structure, all right? So we see Mercury and Mars. They are coming to a conjunction, of course, right? While Mercury is still retrograde here. All right, and this is happening at about 1900 hours, 30 minutes, 53 seconds, right? So Mercury and Mars are conjunct within the fifth house, alrighty, at 24 degrees Sagittarius, 22 minutes. Of course, Mercury is retrograde. So, we are, look, as we're communicating to ourselves, we're going within, really take this time to really meditate on that, when it really comes to, who you want to date. I really got that date energy. That look, fifth house is a relationship house. It can deal with crush and it's kind of like sex too, because children come from there also, right? And so this what may actually happen here is somebody's trying to communicate how they're with child. All right. So if you're with child and you're really thinking how you want to share this energy, right? That's fine. Make sure you actually meditate on what it is that you would like to say, because Pisces is not just isolating in a negative fashion, because Piscean language. And why am I saying Pisces? I'm saying 24 degrees as far as the Greek theory here. Isolation, like incarceration, carcer is Latin, right? So carcer, negative incarceration is like correctional facility, somebody having to be subject to that. However, positive carcer, right? A positive incarceration is like a monk or a nun actually retiring to themselves within their cell, because monks and nuns are also taking refuge within a cell when they go to isolate themselves to themselves or whatever. And this is where one can actually meditate on how they're going to probably creatively say it, right? So you may like make some type of dinner or dessert, and you're thinking of a way to unveil that to your consort, or you and your consort are looking at a way to actually unveil that to the family. So I feel that that's actually taking place there also. And last but not least, we have a lunar Uranian. We have a lunar Uranian sextile here, guys. All righty. And that's taking place at about 4 minutes after 2300 hours, right? 2300 hours, 3 minutes, and 34 seconds to be exact. All righty, we see that there is, this is for the 27th December 2023. All right, Luna's there 19 degrees, Cancer 28 minutes, and then Uranus is at 19 degrees, Taurus 28 minutes, however, retrograde, right? So Uranus is there in the ninth house, and we see Luna there in the 10th, right? A little accidental debilitation there, however, still dominant within Cancer. So this would be interesting. When people kind of learn about real estate, this is where there's going to be a change in their values and comprehending it. I think here is where people are going to actually see that, for example, when we're in the jurisprudence gym and discussing real estate loans according to 7 United States Code 1922, one will probably see, especially after the sound of my voice, they probably are really gung-ho about real estate and what they're doing. However, no, if you're not a farmer or a rancher, no one should be getting a real estate loan. And, I guess we're going to have to do our best to not try to demonize that as some type of sovereign citizen jargon or rhetoric. However, just look at 7 USC 1922 and really allow yourself to really see that this is for farmers and ranchers. So this is where I think, what will also happen is the people will endeavor to come together to study how to actually set things aright, to be able to have those that have an application, a contract, and an oath of office to perform functions of public office at the pleasure of the governors, especially for tax purposes, right under Title 26. This is where the people are going to come together to be able to eliminate these things, because there are a lot of people who are dealing with homelessness and quote unquote the cost of living being too high, whereas housing would be so-called a corporate term, but for people to have shelter, be able to rest and recharge, and be able to secure themselves and their loved ones. I think the people will soon learn that instead of doing it as individuals, so to speak, or as singular sentient beings, it is best for them to come together. Because even individual also means some one USC one insane person. Honestly, is and I get it. There's a language barrier out there that a lot of people are going to have to get over based on them lacking to study that which I'm actually saying now. Any questions, comments, and or suggestions, guys? Going once. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going once. All right. Stop screen share here. I'd like to thank you all for joining me. Remember, schedule your Mirror Astro Literacy sessions with Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey, right? And of course, that's for those that would love to really learn the astrology, really learn the craft by analyzing one's own astrological chart. And I will make sure you actually have that to the fullest extent. However, if you just kind of want to go over some things briefly, and you just want to spend an hour with me, you can get the Celestial Promise session. Also, 7heelstar.com is there for you to actually check out. However, you can not only schedule through the website, you can also schedule with me if you DM me via Instagram, of course, at 7heelstar, or you can inbox me on TikTok at 7heelstar, or you guys know the number globally, right, for the mobile office, 443-376-8764, and I look forward to our correspondence. All righty. Mother Sahara says, Title 7, USC 1922. Indeed, beloved mother. Indeed. All righty. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going twice. All right. With that being said, I want to make sure you guys be yourselves and donate, right? I guess I could put here, you know, if you guys felt that this resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to put the Cash App here, even though I always put the Cash App in the description. You guys know that I don't punch a clock for anyone else. All right, this is what I do all the time, every time, and so that I can keep doing these things for you guys freely as I have been doing. We look forward to your contributions through Cash App. Cash App doesn't work. You want to use Zelle or Google Pay. All righty, 7heelstar@gmail.com. It's very simple. All righty, as far as Zelle and Google Pay, and for those of you that's like, well, I want to use Apple Pay, just reach out to me. 7heelstar@gmail.com is the email, and we can arrange that for you to get the Apple Pay number also. All righty. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going three sides. All right, no questions, comments, and or suggestions, guys. I got a bit of an engagement in 5 minutes, and I appreciate you all joining me. Thank you all so much. And thank you again to those that will be watching this recording very soon. All righty. But again, remember, guys, be yourselves and donate. All righty. So with that being said, I love you all. When you go to eat, make sure you eat good, right? Eat healthily. Make sure you allow yourselves to enjoy the nourishment therefrom. And when you go to rest and recharge well. All righty. So this is where I say to you all, namaste. Namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love. Peace.